and difficult. Kincaid was the brain behind many of the early discoveries within these ancient caves in the Grand Canyon. In fact, he explored the caves so much that he gave them the name Kincaid Citadel. The entrance to Kincaid Citadel is positioned about 1,486 feet down a steep wall of the Grand Canyon. Getting access to this conclave alone via this entrance is life-threatening. Beyond that, there's the rugged terrain to deal with, as well as narrow passages and gross darkness. All of this makes the adventure more treacherous, a nightmare for the faint of heart. Kincaid faced so many difficulties that he turned to the Smithsonian Institute to enlist their help and support. He wrote down his enigmatic cave findings, hoping to entice the Institute so they'd equally pick up interest in the caves. As luck would have it, Kincaid got what he deserved. Is a testament to the superfluous civilization that owned them. Over time, these little bits and pieces began to add up, giving scientists and researchers a picture of how the ancient people once lived. In fact, several plausible theories had begun to take shape within the group, and it was as though the mystery would soon come to an end. However, just when the team was about to reach the climax of their investigations and findings, something shocking happened. Every single artifact and mummy that had been sent to the Smithsonian authorities mysteriously disappeared. When Kincaid tried to inquire into what had happened to his precious artifacts and mummies, he was shut down. It was an enigmatic scenario, with several fingers pointing at various individuals. Things took the strangest turn when Kincaid and Jordan, the two men spearheading this research, mysteriously disappeared. It was completely shocking, as no one could find any traces of these. None of the workers gave any information about the possible whereabouts of the two men. In a twinkle of an eye, everyone was just gone. Nevertheless, the enigma didn't end there. Soon after the team disbanded, the government locked down the area. This single move sparked many questions and controversies. Why did the government lock down this part of the Grand Canyon? Was it because of the dangers hidden in the caves? Or was there something about these caves that they wanted to keep away from the public eye? The government never gave any explanation for these drastic actions. One minute, the caves were open, and then the next minute, armed men in black were parading the place, keeping people off the property. The secrecy and oddity of the whole thing made it quite puzzling and suspicious. The situation becomes all the more enigmatic when you consider the timing of the whole thing. Some conspiracy theorists even propose. In fact, men like Graham Hancock have taken up the quest and are bent on solving the puzzle once and for all. Hancock has been renowned for his exceptional insight on matters regarding the mysterious and inexplicable. He specializes in looking into things and places that others won't dare, and he does so with peculiar insight. Hancock has been applauded frequently in the media for his profound pseudoscientific theories, some of which explain certain phenomena and places in ways scientists never could. For instance, Hancock shared with the world that a lost civilization created the pyramids and the Sphinx of Egypt. According to him, this civilization dates as far back as the Ice Age and may in fact be alien. Hancock has also shared several other alarming theories about Antarctica, aliens, Atlantis, and so many other interesting places and concepts. Somehow, this pseudo-archaeologist and researcher has a way of merging history experts like Graham Hancock to explore in person. He's managed to create profound theories using years of backbreaking research and data. But Hancock is not alone in this noble endeavor. Several researchers and explorers have been drawn to these caves, and some are taking the bold step to go beyond the usual theories to find out the truth for themselves. One such individual is the explorer Jerry Wills. Wills and his wife committed several years of their lives to investigating and finding this underground civilization. First, they tried locating the entrance of the Kincaid Citadel, despite obvious physical and psychological roadblocks put up by the government. However, shockingly, the duo found themselves under constant surveillance from an unidentified aircraft. This gave them the impression that the government was watching their every move. Eventually, Jerry Willis and his team stumbled upon a certain tunnel that should have led to the Citadel, but strangely, The prevalent theory is that the caves contain evidence or remains of extraterrestrials or aliens. You see, some theorists hold that the ancient advanced civilization that Graham Hancock spoke of may actually be an alien civilization. In fact, there may be remains of aliens hidden in the deepest, darkest part of these caves. The secrecy of the government over the Grand Canyon, especially this part, is one thing that seems to support this theory. For decades, we've seen the U.S. government maintain a certain level of secrecy when it comes to matters regarding the paranormal or supernatural. From UFOs to alien sightings and weird, unexplainable phenomena, much of documented outer-worldly events and items are kept classified. Time and time again, multiple whistleblowers and supposed witnesses have let the cat out of the bag, revealing shocking details about the government's involvement with aliens and extraterrestrials. Some shocking revelations include caves is very similar to their secrecy over places like Area 51, a place rumored to be a hub for research on aliens and extraterrestrial technology. But then again, another thing that supports the alien connection theory is the discovery of hieroglyphics within the underground chamber. These symbols resemble those found in ancient Egyptian culture. If there's one civilization that's been rumored to have ties to aliens, it's ancient Egypt. From the magnificent pyramids to the mind-blowing technology, scientific knowledge, and magic these ancient people wielded, everything seems to suggest that they had help from an advanced race beyond the stars. The pyramids, for example, have been extensively studied, and many experts have confirmed that the architecture and expertise employed in their construction are just insane. Building such massive architectural structures, even by today's standards and technology, would be extremely difficult. But then, not only did ancient Egyptians had help from certain powerful beings, perhaps giants. In any case, ancient Egypt left a trove of archaeological wonders behind, including weird cave drawings, mummies, and artifacts. And so finding the same kinds of mummies, patterns, and symbols in the Grand Canyon is highly suspicious. It hints at an ancient clandestine relationship that may have existed between the cave dwellers and ancient Egyptians. But what exactly could that relationship be? Were these cave dwellers extraterrestrials? Or were they a race of humans who received help from otherworldly beings like the ancient Egyptians did? Speculations are running wild, and experts are constantly left with more questions than answers. For one, the geographical distance between the Grand Canyon in the USA and the caves or pyramids in Egypt is insane. Connecting these two locations together would seem way out of league, except of course, you want to bring extraterrestrials into the picture. It's conceivable that the aliens may have brought knowledgeable individuals from Egypt to these Grand Canyon caves, facilitating the transfer and spread of knowledge. Now, while all this may seem plausible, the lack of evidence in our history books makes it all doubtful. However, some figures within the scientific community have pointed fingers at the government once more. Given the controversial history of the U.S. government on matters regarding aliens and how they love to keep everything classified, it could be that certain classified documents exist at top-secret levels, revealing the entire truth about aliens. Talk about a conspiracy within a conspiracy. For example, consider how Kincaid and Jordan mysteriously vanished just when the government stepped in. Could it be that the government made all traces of evidence and documents regarding the pyramids disappear without a trace? So far, there's still a truckload of questions and puzzles for
discoveries by Europeans. In 1541, a group from the Coronado mission, led by Captain Garcia Lopez de Cardenas, ventured to the South Rim. Remarkably, their expedition occurred 138 years before explorers stumbled upon Niagara Falls, 167 years before the discovery of Yellowstone, and nearly 300 years before the exploration of Yosemite. During the expedition of the Coronado Mission Group, a contingent descended toward the river but ultimately failed to reach it. Upon returning, they declared that the buttes, referring to the canyon, exceeded the height of Seville's Great Tower. Interestingly, some Coronado chroniclers made no mention of this side journey. In 1776, Franciscan monk Francisco Garces, tracing tribes along the Colorado River, reached the canyon's rim and encountered the Havasupai tribe. However, his party's primary focus was finding tribes and not explore the Grand Canyon itself. Ives ventured down Diamond Creek into the inner gorge. His journey included a brief stop at the South Rim. In 1861, he issued one of the most infamous proclamations ever made by an American explorer, stating, "Of course, the territory is completely worthless. There is nothing to do but leave once you've entered it." Ours was the first and no doubt the last white party to visit this unprofitable locale. Despite Ives's proclamation, a significant change came to the canyon through Major